الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهديه الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه أشهد أنه قد بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة ومحى الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين فصلاة وسلاما على عبدك ونبيك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. وعن أبي قتادة رضي الله عنه قال أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم سئل عن صيام يوم الاثنين فقال فيه ولدت وفيه أنزل علي فيه ولدت وفيه أنزل علي أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. أما بعد, all praise to Allah, all praise to Allah, the one, the only, the one who should be worshipped. I bear witness that He is the creator of this universe and He is the one who should be worshipped. I bear witness that Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is His messenger, true mercy sent to us. If we follow His path, inshallah will be in Jannah. Amma ba'd, last week I talked about the Prophet and his birth and what do we know about him and how can we celebrate. And I said in a quick mode that the Prophet was born on Monday. We don't have any proof that he was born on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. We don't have that. We have a proof that he died on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. We have that. Okay? Now, his life is there to show us the way. As the Quran said, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ. Why Uswa? Rasulullah, if you look at any part of his life, you will find him as a leader. You want him as a father? He's a father. A grandfather? He's a grandfather. A leader? He's a leader. A normal person? He's a normal person. Every part of our lives, he's there. Normal person? Yeah, in the Quran it's written. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Kahf, right? In Surah Al-Kahf it says that لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. I'll remember it inshallah. It came to my head. But he's وما كان محمد إلا رسول قد خلت من قبل الرسل. No. Anyway, let's move on. I stayed with him until he was 40. Last week I stayed with him until he was 40 when the Quran revealed to him and Sayyidina Jibreel came to him and قال اقرأ 3 times and he left. And like I said, when he was scared, where did he go? He went to his wife. When you're scared, where do you go? To everyone in the world, but your wife. The Prophet went to his wife. And then his wife was the first faqihah in Islam. And she told him that you are Allah, wallahi la yukhzik Allah abadan. Allah will never leave you astray. Well, Allah will never leave you astray. And she took him to her cousin, Waraqa ibn Nawfal. He was a scholar in the old religions. And he told him, Waraqa, that I was hoping that I would stay until, I hope I was young, until your people will kick you out to defend you. And Rasulullah, kick me out of my country? Why should be kicked out of my country? Why? Why someone kick someone from his country? Why? Country of birth. But subhanallah, The Waraqah told him, no one comes with what you come with except his people will kick him out. That's normal. And really, when I thought about it a little bit, all of us are from outside. But are we kicked out? Everyone can think about it a different way. But again, Uswa Hasana. You can follow the Prophet. He moved from Mecca to Medina. What did he do? What's the first thing? And that's the khutbah today, inshallah. The Prophet ﷺ, when he started with his people. He was 40, he started with his people, talking to his friends, his family. And then after 3 years, Allah told him, say it, hi. And he went to the mountain and said, Wala sabaha. Come on, this is a word that help. Come. And everyone in Mecca came to him. And he told them, what do you think about me, everyone? I'm a truth teller. No one can say that I'm a liar. I said, no, you are a truth teller. You are a truthful person. And he said, I'm the prophet of this era. Follow me, you will go to Jannah. Who the first one to stand in front of him? Who the first one to talk? His uncle. His uncle, subhanallah, his uncle. Straight his uncle talked. تبا لك لهذا جمعتنا. You are the one. What, you called us because of that? These simple things? I don't care. I don't care about him. What are you talking about? And subhanallah, Allah revealed the Quran. تبت يد أبي لهب وتب ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب سيصلى نارا ذات لهب. And they said before that Abu Lahab, he hates the Prophet, right? He hates Islam. He could have destroyed Islam like this. How? He stand up. Muhammad says that I will go to hellfire. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Even if he's just saying it. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Done. Islam is gone. But no. When Allah says something, nothing can change it. And someone comes to you and says, okay, now the people in Kufr. No, Allah didn't say that they are going to hellfire. Allah didn't tell that I'm going to Jannah. Inshallah, all of us will go to Jannah. Allah didn't say to any of us. It's up to you to decide. But if Allah says something, nothing can change it in life. Even the human who knows it. Even anything. Anyway, I don't want to go side stories. Now, the Prophet ﷺ start talking to everyone. And years go quickly until the year 10 of Ba'athah, when his uncle, not Uncle Abu Lahab, Uncle Abu Talib died. And subhanallah, as far as we know, he died as a non-believer. For a reason we don't know. Some of the narration says that he may have came to Islam, but it's not authenticated. I cannot take it. And hisabuhu Allah. Allah is the one who will take care of him. It's not us. If he came to Islam, it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then his wife died 3 days after. And subhanallah, when you see that, the two main supporters died. The two main supporters died. Allah want the Prophet ﷺ to lose all the supporters in this world. And only one support, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one night, Sayyidina Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, Allah want to see you, come. And he came, rode on the Buraq. Buraq, most of the ulama says it's above the donkey and lower than the horse. It moves almost speed of light. Like where she looks, she puts her feet and so on. Speed of light. And I'll tell you at the end why it was the speed of light. And then he went to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. May Allah return it back to us. Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. He went there and he found all the prophets there. Who will lead the prayer? The first thing you come to a mosque, what should you do? 2 rak'ah. 2 rak'ah. Come, pray 2 rak'ah. Who will lead? So many. Who will lead the prayer? The Prophet ﷺ. This is to show that he is the best of them. ﷺ. أنا خير ولد آدم ولا فخر. ﷺ. He led the prayer and then he went to the rock and he went up the sky. And by the way, In the Quran, سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله. The Prophet ﷺ said everything he saw from Mecca to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. He saw a caravan, he saw this, he saw that, because he was there. But when he went up, he didn't know see it. وَعُرِيَ جَبِي. He didn't know how he did it. Because some people said, oh, we'll have a rocket, we'll have science that we can go up the sky. And no, it's different. It's different. Don't say that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He took him up. High sky up. Where is the first sky? We don't know. It's high up. Where? Until now we're trying to see where our stars and where our everything around us. It's huge, the world. لخلق السماوات والأرض أكبر من خلق الناس. خلق السماوات is huge. The more we go, the more still we think that we are so little. Subhanallah. And then, subhanallah, the Prophet went up and he started saying what he saw up in Jannah and hellfire. Subhanallah. And then he raised up until he met all the prophets. Until he reached a space that no one before him reached. ثم دنا فدل فكان قاب قوسين أو أدنى فأوحى إلى عبده ما أوحى. Allah revealed him. What did He reveal him? Prayer. And someone will say, why prayer? Only prayer there? Yeah. Why? Imagine that the king wants to send you a message. A phone. Yeah, do this. Simple message. More important, he will send you a messenger. More important, raise the phone. Hello, talk to me. More important, come. I want to see you. More important, privately, I want to see you. And the Prophet was seen there privately. No one was there. In a place that no one came before him and no one came. I don't know after him, I cannot say that. But no one before him was there. And subhanallah, a prayer came to him. He said 5 prayers, come back. Pray 5 times. And alhamdulillah it was 5 because some of the narration says 50. And imagine that 5 we cannot handle, how about 50? You will pray all day. And the youth under 25 will be hitting us up. 50 prayers, come on. Now 5. Each prayer take 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If you are reading with the long surah or duha or سبح اسم ربك الأعلى, whatever long stories is. But subhanallah, long surah it says 5 minutes. And still it's hard. Why it's hard? Because إنها لكبيرة. It's hard. It's tough on us. To remember, prayer after prayer, you have to go on. Then the Prophet came back. How long? The Prophet said when he touched his bed, it was warm. Imagine now with me, you go to the washroom and come back and you put your hands in your bed, it's not that warm. Now the Prophet went up to the Masjid Al-Aqsa, went up, came back, and it's warm? How? How is that? If you use your head, it doesn't work. But the Prophet didn't say he went. The Prophet ﷺ didn't say I went. Because in all means, I think, even when the technology goes 100 years from now or 1,000 years from now, still, it takes time. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one. Subhanalladhi asra. Allah is the one, and Allah is the multiple power. No way. Time is there. Power is high power. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Time is neglectable. Inshallah, for the young people, when you take physics, more power, less time. It's that way. More power, less time. Imagine the ultimate power, 0 time. That's why he went back and he was warm. He came back and he talked to the people. And the first one, some of the people he met is Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl used to push people away from him. Move away, move away. Don't talk to people. When he told him this story, he said, will you say the story outside? He said, yes. Okay, come, everyone in Mecca, come and hear. And some of the people got out of Islam because of this story. Because they used their head. How come? We used camels to go for 2 months. But Allah didn't tell them that. The Quran didn't tell them that the Prophet went. Subhanallah. And he gave proof about it. But still, no way. I use your head. No. Because you have to believe the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And subhanallah, this story, I'll move on to the next. He started telling people around him, I need to go to you to start the world, start our Islamic world. And quickly he went, and people of Medina came, and they accepted him. Alayhi salatu wassalam. And he went to Medina, asked these people to go to Medina. And then he started building the country, building the first Islamic country. City. Imagine that in Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, I'll move 6 years after that. How many Muslims were there? Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, in year 6. How many? 1,400. The people who pray in this mosque, in the 6 prayers we have, is almost more than that number. 1,600 Sahaba. In year 6. In year 6. The Prophet died after that 4 years. 4 years after that. What did he do to these people? 10 years after, they ruled almost half the world we know. How? That's what inshallah we'll talk about in the second part of the khutbah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر عليكم فاستغفروا يا فوز المستغفرين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. أما بعد, the Prophet ﷺ has so much characteristics. If you know him, you'll love him. And if you don't know him, I'm sorry, you don't know him. Especially the young. You have to know the Prophet more. You have to know him as you know your son, as you know yourself. Even you should know him more than you know him yourself. How? Is there a hadith saying that? Yes. The Prophet ﷺ said that no one will be a true Muslim except if he loves Allah and His Messenger more than he loves himself, his kids, and his family. The Sahaba was sitting there, and Jazallah khair Sayyidina Umar was there too. He said, I love you, a Prophet, more than my family, my money, but myself? No. Give me a second. No. And the Prophet told him again, لا يؤمن أحدكم لا يكمل إيمان أحد. No one will, his iman will be perfect until he loves me more than his family, his wealth, and himself. And Sayyidina Umar, because he's truthful, and Jazallah khair, really, I'll think the same. If it's me, I'll think the same. Me? Myself? No. I should I'm the most important world. Even they teach the youth here in Canada that you are the most important one in the world. All the world is going around you. All the world is going around you. What are you talking about? And Sayyidina Umar asked the question. I said, give me a second. And who is the narrator of this hadith? His son, Abdullah ibn Umar ibn Khattab. And Umar went outside a little bit, and he came back. And he said, O Prophet, you are more valuable than myself. And the Prophet told him, الآن كمل إيمانك يا عمر. Now, your iman is perfect. Did you hear anything Sayyidina Umar said? No. Abdullah asked him immediately, because he wants to know. Makes sense. Abdullah, okay. Oh father, you said no, and now you say yes. What did you think about? And Sayyidina Umar told him, I went to the side and thought, who can take me to the Jannah? Rasulullah. My body will take me to where? Relax, watch NBA, World Cup is coming, I don't have to pray, I don't have to fast, I don't have to read the Quran, I don't have to come to the masjid. Don't we have all that? I want to sit in the couch, watch Netflix, it's good. And YouTube, perfect. How about shorties and all of these things coming? Yes. Wallahi, sometimes I watch TikTok and I shut that phone because it keeps on coming. And subhanAllah, it knows me now. The bad things, I go through them, now it gives me shuyukh. Because I think the technology there, sit, watch. I remove TikTok, I don't want it anymore. It's horrible. And others, alhamdulillah. It takes a time, and as the last one, That's the last one. And the last one doesn't come. And they know, don't want to watch swimming or something like that, bad things. Now they don't show it to me. They don't show it to me. They keep on giving the shuyukh, okay, Saad al-Kamili, okay, Sheikh Sha'rawi. Now, do you love them? Okay, no problem, I'll give it to you. Stay. But really, if I stay with you for that, I don't have time for others. When I'm come to pray, sometimes I miss prayer, which I hate. I need to come to prayer. Cancel. This thing will be controlling, and this is now, how about 20 years from now? I'm wondering, when this gentleman here will be old, what's the technology? I'm not sure. We'll see. Because if my grandfather was here, I don't think he even will believe that we have this. My grandfather, when I saw, he will not believe that I have this. Now, subhanAllah, we have everything. Now comes the Prophet ﷺ, moving on to the 1400 people who was Sulh Hudaybiyah. What is his characteristics? Mainly, let's take some of it. I'm not saying all of it, because characteristic of prophets is a lot. Every one of us will have something that will apply on the Prophet. Anything. First thing, the Sahaba talked about the Prophet, he smiled. He loves to smile. Whenever you look at the Prophet ﷺ, he smiles. 99.9% smiles. 99.9%, always smiling. Even in the war, he's smiling, subhanAllah, except when one of Hurumatillah is attacked. He is so angry. But when you look at him, always smile. Then really, I tell everyone, smile. Always smile. The Muslim is smiling. If I look at you and you smile, you take hasanat. Sadaqatun tatasaddaqu biha. The smile is sadaqah fi sabilillah. Free. I'm not sure who's paying for the smile, but as far as I know, no one pays. Just a smile. And when you go home, should I smile? The Prophet used to smile. When you go home, alayhi salatu wassalam. Smile when you go home. I know everyone is so burdened with so many problems. But they are more than the Prophet, who has the hem of the ummah? No. But still, when he goes home, he smiles. Two, when you always say salam to everyone who knows and who doesn't know, always say salam. This is how it works. If you want to like each other, say salam alaikum to everyone. Afshu salama bainakum. Say salam alaikum to everyone. And the Prophet does that. 3, he never say no, except if haram. He never says no. ما سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على شيء إلا اختار أيسرهما ما لم يكن إثما. The Prophet ﷺ will never say no to something if it's halal. If it's haram, definitely he will say no. Definitely he will say no. But every halal, he will say yes. What else? I say 2 more and I'm done. 1 more. He was a brother of all of the Sahaba. Subhanallah, what do I mean by that? When he sits, all the Sahaba say that he looks at them the same, as he is talking to them only. Talking to each one of them. Sometimes even we don't do that with our children. I like my older son, my younger son. Come, sit, love you. How about the others? They don't say good morning. Who said that? You say good morning. You say smile. But they are obligated. They will go to hellfire. You want them to go to hellfire? Your kids? No. Then really say salam alaikum, say good morning, say something. Even if you're angry with them. That's how the Prophet is. He plays with his grandson and granddaughter. The Prophet has a granddaughter? Yeah. Her name is Umama. Yeah, he had a granddaughter and a grandson. And subhanAllah, so many of them. And really we need to know him more. The last thing, he supports everyone around him. Anyone who asks him something, he tries his best to support him, to help him. If you walk with your brother, any brother, trying to support him, as Abdullah ibn Abbas said, supporting a brother, if his problem finished or not, as if you stayed in the masjid for 70 years. And someone says 2 months, but anyway, let's go the rest 2 months, 2 months of prayer and worshipping Allah. Enjoy the hasanat. Just going with your brother. I'll support you. Let's go. Let's try my best. Everything is related to the Prophet. Every part of our lives is related to the Prophet. The Prophet at the end, he said, اشتقت إلى أحبابي, like I said last khutbah. And the Sahaba were around him. Aren't we your ahbab? He said, no. Antum ashab, you are my companions. Ahbabi, my beloved people, people like you came after me, after him. We believed in him and we didn't see him. The one of them, one of you, is equal to 50 of the Sahaba. And the Prophet said, the Sahaba said, one of you is equal to 50 of you. He said, no. One of you is equal to 50 of you. Sahaba. Why? تجدون على الحق بعينا ولا يجدون. What do I mean? There is Umar, there is Ali, there is Abu Bakr, there is Uthman, there is Abdurrahman. There is so many who can support you. Now, when you see other brothers, are you going to pray? Come on, let's watch the TV. Let's go. Come on, sit beside me. Subhanallah. If you go, come on, let's go, rush. Let's go and pray. Pray sunnah. No. Come on. Let's go. I prayed with you, come on. Now your friends are taking you out, pulling you out of the mosque, pulling you out of Islam. But you need support. Every one of you, even me. I told you before that I said, so many calamities happened and some of my friends came to my aid. Finishing the Prophet surah life, he died when he was 63, alayhi salatu wassalam. In the day he died, alayhi salatu wassalam, he gave a long khutbah. Inshallah, if I'm there, the khutbah, I'll talk about this khutbah inshallah next week. But the khutbah have every part of Islam. Concluded the Islam. Last thing he said, as-salat, as-salat, prayer, and your women. Two things the Prophet make a wasiyah about. Make sure that, this means that the youth here who does not married yet doesn't have a woman, right? You have a mother, you have a sister, you have an aunt. All of them are there. You're accountable for. Take care of them. When I look at them, I change some parts of the khutbah because really, very important to know. Woman means not only my wife or my daughter. No. It can be your mother. It can be your sister. You're responsible for her. It's your job. That's the Prophet gave a wasiyah to you. And the Prophet died on Monday. After almost around noontime, before noontime. And at that time it was a big issue. Big, and the Sahaba didn't believe in it. All the Sahaba didn't believe in it. I'll not go there because I'll cry. But even Sayyidina Umar stood there and said, anyone who say that the Prophet died, I'll chop his head. Umar will say that? Yes. It's a big calamity. If you know the love of the Prophet ﷺ, you will say more. But who is the one who stood firm? We should believe that he was crying all the time behind the Prophet when he read the Quran. His best friend, Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr. The most one who cries. Who loves the Prophet more than anyone else. Even the Prophet said that. When he heard about it, what did he do? He saw Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Uthman couldn't think, couldn't walking straight. Sayyidina Ali fell on the ground. Sayyidina Abu Bakr left all of them. And he went direct to the Prophet ﷺ. He confirmed he died. And he kissed him on his forehead. That's why the ulama said it's sunnah. If you know someone died, kiss him on the forehead. And he went outside. And he looked at Umar, raising his sword. If you say the Prophet died, I'll kill you. And Sayyidina Abu Bakr looked at him and said, stop! And Sayyidina Umar knows who's Abu Bakr. And he said, Abu Bakr told him, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ أَفَإِنْ مَاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ انقَلَبْتُمْ عَلَىٰ عَقَبِكُمْ وَمَنْ يَنْقَلِبْ عَلَىٰ عَقِبَيْهِ فَلَنْ يَضُرَّ اللَّهَ شَيْئًا وَسَيَجْزِي اللَّهُ الشَّاكِرِينَ. And Sayyidina Umar told him, Is this in the Quran? Imagine Umar memorized the Quran. Is this in the Quran? And the Sahaba start crying. What did I say? The Sayyidina Abu Bakr said, Muhammad is a prophet. If he died or killed, do you think that you return back as a kuffar again? You'll go back? He stood firm, radiallahu anhu, to support the ummah. This is the most beloved one. Remember, if you have a calamity, remember the calamity of the death of the Prophet. He is the one who should you follow. He is the one we should be loving. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا اللهم الحقنا بنبيك ما آمنا به ولم نره اللهم الحقنا بنبيك ما آمنا به ولم نره اللهم أدخلنا مدخله ولا تحرمنا أجره اللهم اغفر لنا وله يا رب العالمين اللهم واسترنا فوق الأرض واسترنا تحت الأرض واسترنا يوم العرض وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله. Before we go inshallah, make dua. One of our brothers, his wife is almost very sick. Make dua for her and for everyone, for the sick people inshallah. May Allah relieve her from pain and return her health inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأقيم الصلاة. لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا